What the fuck?
Thank you. 15 on, 15 on, 10 top goal. 8 to the 92, 92.
Look at that drip you do.
4 stars, 219 on the mile, 219 on the mile, 1 over. 1 over.
You have the 1 over, God. Tell my looking at it.
5 of all.
3 model.
5 3 of all.
Perfect time.
3 of them.
Always around.
225.
I'm better, right?
Yes.
225.
All right, so we're here at the Taurus. It's the only car I officially bought today. I'm on an if bid on that Fusion at $300. They haven't decided. Let me know Tuesday if they're going to sell it to me for that. That's a manual Fusion. That thing's pretty cool, but this is the car I really came here for today. And I suspect this is probably an estate car. You know, old lady died. I was 100% correct. They had to give me the death certificate because obviously she couldn't sign the title. She was dead. But it came from an estate. It's got 4 brand new Conti Pro contact tires on it. This thing is absolutely pristine. She bought it brand new, and they had said they at the auction misread the 5-digit odometer as a 6, said it had 200,000 miles. Nobody bid on it but me. The car actually has 121,000 miles. I ran the Carfax, and it's been dealer service since new. She even had the keys labeled, and it has a alarm system which works. I'm hoping it will start. Don't see why it wouldn't, but oh, that's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Not too often I get to get in a car here and it actually starts up. Look it, I don't even have to change the oil. Family Ford, down in Connecticut. Less road salt down there. Oil was changed recently. No service lights, no bullshit. Runs nice and quiet. I mean, this is, some of you guys think I'm crazy coming to this particular auction. This is the reason I come here. Yeah, I buy a lot of other shit here and I make money on it. Just sold the Silver Century the other day for 1,200 bucks. Bought that for $225. Did no work to it, didn't even fix the rockers. But this is the stuff I really come here for. Those estate cars that donated one owners, just like my Cutlass Supreme. And some of you guys say, what are you gonna do with that? I don't sell these cars. I buy these for me. Part of my little weird collection of these cars that I love, and some of you do too, because you're here on the channel watching. Listen to how nice, and this is the good motor, the 3.0. You could get these at a 3.8, but the head gaskets will go on them. This does not have that problem. This is a much more reliable engine. And you can see there's just all kinds of work done to this car. That fuel rail looks newer. You got a Motorcraft battery in here from July of 2018. I mean, this thing is turnkey. Turnkey. $225. After fees, there's no title because it's 93. I have the title, but I don't have to get a new title is the point. I can just register it in this state. This car out the door cost me $365. 4 new tires, 121,000 miles, 1 owner, dealer service since new, so clean you can lick the paint. Look at how nice it runs. There's no smoke, there's no bullshit. Gonna pull her out front and get her home. This is gonna be nice and simple. Tom, let me pull out and you can hop in, we'll ride up. When I was a kid, we had one of these in a wagon, and I loved it, even though it was kind of a crappy car. I had the 3.8, and the transmission went at like 65,000 miles. But, you know, I still love these cars. This thing feels... Tom, this car feels brand new. Still inspected, by the way. Look at the interior, how clean. This thing, I haven't gone very far, obviously, not even a mile yet, but from what I can tell, transmission shifts smooth as butter. 4 brand new, and I knew this from the Carfax, brand new Continental tires. Impeccable. I'm gonna have to pull it up in this video and just show the service history, the amount of service. You know when you go to the Ford dealer and they try to sell you all those bullshit flushes, the brake fluid flush, which, you know, I think at some point you should do, but not every, you know, 20,000 miles. Brake fluid flush, the power steering fluid flush, the this, the that, the she did all that stuff. She did all those bullshit 10,000 mile services that aren't in the manual. So this thing has been over maintained. Look at all the people out here ice skating. And I'm driving around my icy white, beautiful cocaine white, whorehouse red interior Taurus. You guys must think I'm crazy being so excited about this car, but you gotta understand, we had one of these when I was growing up. And it was a wagon. I used to always pop out the little Taurus badge there at my finger because all the plastics were so messed up in the car, they were all falling out. That's just what I'm saying. This Taurus is in better shape than ours was in like 2001 when it was, you know, getting older. We were getting ready to get rid of the thing. This thing is an absolute time capsule. And the odometer does spin. Again, 5 digital odometer showing 21,935 miles. The Carfax, I followed it right back to the day she bought it. The car has 121,000 miles. And that's honestly, these are out there with low mileage, even lower, but the maintenance this thing has had, I wouldn't care if this car had 221,000 miles, which I know it doesn't, but if it did, I would have paid the same amount of money for it because the maintenance. I haven't even tested the radio or the heat yet. Obviously, I need my other hand free to do that. But so far, this thing drives like a brand new car. Honestly, it drives nicer than my 2012 Sonic. And that car drives great. This just feels that good. The suspension is perfect. Steering is perfect. Tiny bit of rust starting behind the passenger rear wheel. Just before the passenger rear wheel. So behind the passenger rear door. Not a concerning amount. It hasn't rotted through yet. On a car like this, in this condition, which obviously I bought to keep, look at the steering wheel, guys. The thing is brand new. I'm going to probably have that rust fixed. I think it's worth the investment, even though it's probably going to cost more to fix the rust properly than the whole car did. I would have paid $1,500 for this car if I'd seen it on a used car lot. So I have no problem paying a couple $100 to have those corners sorted out. Today I'm driving on the salty roads, obviously, because I have to. But this will be staying off the roads and staying clean until the roads clean up. Anyway, you can see she's doing great. Thrilled. This was the car that I came for today. You know, everything else, obviously, I had a long list. Most of the cars ended up being junk, and I even bid on them, or, you know, I bid a certain amount and stopped. But this was the car I came today to get. Oh yeah, this was the one. So I am just through the roof happy, pumped. I'm more pumped about this thing than I was about the Cutlass. I have enough classic front wheel drive GMs. I don't have enough classic Fords, and this is one of the ones on my list, and I finally have it. This thing drives better than ours did with 60,000 miles, you know, almost 2 decades ago. This drive home looks like it's going to be very uneventful, and that's a great thing. So it should be no surprise to anybody the Taurus made it home without any issues. This vehicle is perfect. Perfect mechanically, almost perfect cosmetically. There's 2 areas where the rust has started, and as I said earlier in the video, I'm going to have those areas fixed. Usually a vehicle's got to be real nice and real special to me for me to go that far. But this vehicle, if it wasn't for those 2 spots, would be in showroom condition. The paint, I just want you, and the car is filthy, obviously. You can see why. There's just salt all over the roads up here. Look at the shine. on a 93 Taurus. When was the last time you saw one of these, period? Never mind one in this condition. The pinstriping. You know this car was garaged. Mirror shine. All the way around. Mirror, mirror, mirror shine. Not a crack in the bumpers, which is surprising for an older woman's car because they usually hit everything. There is not a door ding on this car. It is absolutely perfect. Look at, and again, this is all ice and stuff. If you see anything that looks like it's a flaw, it's perfect. This is the worst of the rust, and the real only rust on the car. The other side is just starting. I could, sand that down and spray it, and you wouldn't even know it was ever there. This side, still definitely fixable, and I need to fix it soon before it starts to actually rot through. But this is the worst of it. All the hubcaps are still on it in pretty damn good shape. This thing is just, and you can see there's some, this might even just be a dirt scuff, to be honest. It's definitely not through the clear coat. Yeah, that's just superficial. That'll buff right out. A little bit of a scuff over here, but again, superficial. You can see it had no effect on the fender at all. Those brand new tires. Look at the shine. And it's dirty. And those of you saying, are you going to sell it? What are you going to sell it for? I'm not going to sell this car. Remember, I'm a collector first, a dealer second. These are the cars that I collect. You think that's weird? More than understandable. But this is the kind of stuff that I love. And this car, with a fresh wash and a coat of wax, it already shines, but imagine with some wax. This thing is going to be in unbelievable shape, especially when I fix the rust. The interior, I don't think it could be any more perfect. Obviously the carpets, half of that's just the snow from my boot, and the floor mat there is a little dirty. Look at the door panel. There is no wear. There isn't even any wear on the buttons. I mean, it's like she never touched any of the buttons on the radio. No cracks in the dash. A little dusty, but no cracks. The headliner is perfect. No tears in the seats. There isn't even evidence of the seats starting to tear. Needs a little bit of a cleaning right there, but the seats are in perfect shape. Look at the steering wheel. No wear on the steering wheel. No wear on the steering wheel buttons. Sorry, my camera's a lot of focus. All the gauges work. The radio works. The heat works. The original radio looks like it was just installed today. It's so clean. I've got, of course, should be no surprise, owner's manual right there and some extra bulbs. I've been waiting for the right one of these to come along, and that's the thing, the right one. They're out there, but they're usually clapped, or they got some type of mechanical issue. Look at the intake, look at the valve cover. I mean, there's a little bit of salt that's kicked up from driving it around. I gotta get this thing washed as soon as possible. It's well below freezing today. It's not going to happen. But as soon as we have a day where it's above 32 degrees, I'm going to be at the car wash getting every little bit of salt off this car I can possibly get off. Just look at this thing. Motorcraft battery. I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm excited. All the fluids are topped off. Coolant, oil. I checked it earlier. It's nice and clean. I love white cars. I just love... Well, for one, being a Florida guy, or former Florida guy, they hold up in the sun. You can see it's going to look great with my cocaine white and whorehouse red Alante. This one's got a blue interior. We'll just pretend it's red. What else do I have in a red interior? That's white paint. The Mercedes down in Miami. Cutlass is a blue interior, so that can pair up with this one. I don't know what this pairing is that I have in my mind, but I love white cars. They always look nice. They always look clean. The paint jobs don't age. Black car, a little bit of dirt gets on the hood, and the thing looks like crap. But when they're clean, they look amazing. Let's not get that mistaken. One thing I want to point out in this video, and we'll wrap it up, because I think you guys can only hear so much about an i3 Ford Taurus before you hit unsubscribe. The Metro, I own it now. Some of you might think that's crazy. But just like this Taurus, this is one of those cars that I've been dying to have. A Metro convertible manual. Love the red paint. You don't have to look at the rocker panels. Interior, love it. Love this car. I wanted this car. The problem is George and I have a rule, you know, a friendship neutrality rule, whatever you want to call it, when it comes to the auctions. If he finds the car first, he can bid on it, or vice versa. If I find the car first, of course, if it was an extreme circumstance where I really wanted a car, he really wanted a car, I'm sure we'd say, go ahead, go at it. Well, George found this first. The listing said it didn't run well and all that. I saw the rust. So I said, you know what, George, go ahead. He won it for the $300. After fees, it's $4 something. Ordered a bunch of parts for it. Started rebuilding it. We put it up on ramps to do the fuel filter. We're still waiting on the head to come in. The car needs a head. There'll be a video on this thing soon. We'll get it rebuilt and you know, fire her up, hear her run like brand new, hopefully. When George saw there's some floor rot. It's a pretty common issue with these Metros up here. It's not a huge hole. George's just more of a perfectionist than me. I can live with some cars with some imperfections. I want to talk about imperfections. But it's got a hole probably the size of a donut. So not that bad. Easily patched. The rocker panels obviously have seen better days. But again, rocker panels pretty easily fixed. Otherwise, this car has a great straight body. It's been repainted well. When George saw that floor rot, it kind of took the wind out of his sails, as he said that night. Didn't really feel like working on the car anymore. Was kind of over it. And I said, jokingly, I wanted to do it, but I never thought he would. I'll trade you the Malibu Max, you know, the one that needs a head gasket. He said, really? And he looked at the Malibu Max, drove it around, and he said, let's do it. He's going to give that car to his father, because he hates the Saturn that he bought for me for his father. His father hates the car. He thinks the Malibu Max with the 6-cylinder. George's going to do the head gasket on it, do it properly. He's not going to Blue Devil it. He thinks that'll be a better fit for his father. It's got more options too. It's got the heated seats and stuff. So George is happy. I am thrilled. So that's what happened. The Metro's mine. One of the reasons I love that it's mine because it fits in this garage, which I don't think any other car would fit with all the other cars in here, but it does fit. And now we have the Taurus here. I'm thrilled. I could talk all day, but I can already see this video is getting way too long. I'm going to have to edit it and cut it down. So here's the Taurus. Let me know what you think. If you don't understand why I like cars like this, then don't bother because your opinion's irrelevant. If you like stuff like this, if you think this thing is a survivor, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for the next one.